Welcome to Natural Health Clinic. This is your friend Liz with Diakonos Ministry. Today we're going to talk about Salt Glow. And just before we do that, as a disclaimer, let's get started. So a salt glow is a very useful treatment where, of course, we use salt. There are other things we can use such as sand if we don't have salt as handy. And for this purpose, an abrasion type material can be used to stimulate the skin to actually cause the pores to open up and release toxins and wastes that may be trapped in them. It is also to stimulate the lymphatic system, which is the main component to filter our toxins from the bloodstream. So remember, we talked in our first podcast about toxins and how we need to get them out of our system. So this is a great way to do that. We could use Epsom salt, table salt. You can even use rock salt. So that will definitely depend on how sensitive your skin is. And keep in mind, if you will be applying this treatment for someone else, that there are different temperaments and you need to put yourself in that person's place. You have to become the sick person in order to identify with that person's needs. So let's put ourselves in each other's shoes here. And really what we're trying to do with this treatment is create a greater flow of blood to the surface. And if we can create a greater flow of blood to the surface, we can release a tremendous amount of heat that is trapped in the system. And as the heat comes to the surface, it brings the toxins out of the system. Okay, so the first step when you give any kind of treatment to another person, and even if you're going to apply it to yourself, is that you need to pray with that person or by yourself. Always pray. It seems simple, but if God is not there, it is not going to work. Who is doing the healing? It's not us. It's God. So after prayer, what needs to happen is that you go up the arm towards the heart. You can do long strokes all the way up the arm. The important thing is to get the circulation of the blood moving. Start off down at the fingers and continue until you have done that whole body. Now be gentle. That scrubbing has to be gentle so you avoid making harm to yourself or to your patient. And how often can this be applied? Well, that will depend on yourself. You can start with 1 or twice a week. And if you feel comfortable, you can even do that once a day. And you can even mix this salt with a little bit of water. It could be a little bit of warm water or cold preferably, but this will depend on how the patient prefers it. And the skin will be really smooth. Now, why would you do a salt glow? Well, first of all, it is very relaxing. It has a good therapeutic effect on the central nervous system, and it really feels wonderful. It actually relaxes tired, achy muscles, and it removes a lot of the lactic acid that is trapped in the muscles. It's very wonderful. Now, as mentioned before, you could use warm water, but I prefer using cold water when I do a salt glow and let the body heat it up. But there are some people who need you to warm it up first, so that is okay as well. This treatment removes the dead skin and opens up the pores. And it's normal if when you're treating the skin with this salt that it may get a little bit red. You can then continue doing the salt glow on the face. It's advisable that women work with women and men with men to avoid feeling uncomfortable, since this is applied to the whole body and few clothes need to be on while it's being applied. Let me tell you that one of the worst things you can do for skin-related problems is to use soap and different other toiletries that actually break down the fatty acids. This can do more harm to your skin than anything can. Living things need to have a pH balance of acid and alkaline, especially our skin. If our skin becomes too acid, this can accelerate the growth of skin cells, and as it accelerates, our skin becomes scaly and dry. A lot of that is developed because we use a lot of things on our faces that actually upset the pH balance. And if it becomes too alkaline, our skin becomes too moist or too oily. It often then develops a sickly appearance. And so it can be more prone to develop wrinkles as well. It accelerates the aging process. But simply applying a salt glow to the skin will increase circulation. You always end in a very special way. Cold shower. Okay? After applying the salt glow, we will take a cold shower. Believe me, the cold is much better than the hot. It revitalizes old dormant limbs. And after that shower, that is it. You're done with the salt glow. This is a very simple treatment that can be followed, as mentioned, with different type of salts or even sand, depending on your location. Before we end today's podcast, I would like to read out once more the 8 elements that we have freely thanks to our God and provide you a bit more information on one of them. So we have fresh air, good rest, balanced nutrition, fresh water, exercise, temperance, trust in God, and sunshine. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about fresh air and how you can take advantage of this free element. Oxygen is essential for life. Breathe clean air to maintain good health. Keep the air circulating. Open the windows completely and let the air into the rooms of your house, your office, come in. Eat your food whenever possible in a clean air environment. And then walk for about 5 to 10 minutes in the sun and outdoors. After walking, rest for 20 to 30 minutes. Avoid any product that can cause air pollution in the environment, such as poisons to kill insects, cigarette smoke, chemical flavorings, incense, and others. Remember, it is preferable to have a little cold air with oxygen than a heated environment capable of suffocating us. And that is it for today. Thank you for joining us. May God bless you and keep you healthy.